It's finally here. An awesome new Superman movie is finally here.
Yes, it is. And who's directing this film? None other but Zack Snyder. Coming off of 300 and Dawn of the Dead and Watchmen and Sucker Punch.
That was a bit
but
of
also Watchmen,
yeah.
so...
David S. Goyer
Yes.
was the writer for this movie,
Yep.
who's done some impressive and not so impressive screenplays. He was responsible for the Dark Knight trilogy, which was brilliant. Everyone agrees with that. But he also wrote the Blade trilogy.
Ooh, yes.
And
He also directed the third one.
Well, there we go. But I mean, alongside David S. Goyer is writing with him is Christopher Nolan.
Yeah.
That's enough said.
Yeah. This movie also stars Amy Adams as Lois Lane.
Yes.
Michael Shannon.
Yeah.
As Zod. General Zod. And Henry Cavill as the Man of Tomorrow. The last son of Krypton. The Man of Steel.
Yes. Superman. None other than him himself. Come up to the standards of Marvel's blockbusters. Will it make a long-awaited Justice movie as the foundation? Does this look infected to you?
We'll find out on today's episode of The Pop Cult.
Okay, so let's get started. The overall movie, which we will not spoil, will...
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, Okay.
Yeah.
Where can we begin? I think overall, it was definitely a good action film.
Yes, yeah.
Like, coming off of fucking Superman Returns,
Mm.
fucking emo Superman,
Well, anything's
Stalker
good.
Superman, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, guys. But, yeah, coming off that, you can only go up from there.
Well, I guess, yeah.
And I think for the most part, Zack Snyder did accomplish that. And, you know, like, the special effects were great. Like the stuff on Krypton was awesome, you know?
Mm.
It's like the first time we got to see, like, Krypton as, like, a real living, breathing world, you know? There's the creatures of Krypton and, you know, the tech.
Yes,
Tech,
yeah.
And, you know, the clothes and stuff.
Because they haven't really addressed that except for kind of like in Superman 1, and like you only briefly
Yeah, it's
see...
very, like, white.
Yeah, it's very white, kind of purish, but it wasn't
Yeah.
kind of like... And I kind of liked it how they kind of made the Kryptonians, like, dude, they're a bunch of dicks. They're a bunch of dicks, and like, we shouldn't feel sorry that they're dead.
Yeah.
You know, so...
Yeah.
You know, that I think that was a good issue that they explored that they didn't in the first Superman.
Yeah. But like when Kal-El gets to Earth, you know, he's adopted by Connor Kent and Martha Kent.
Jonathan.
Jonathan Kent and I was call him Ma Kent.
Yeah. Ma.
And
What's my mother's maiden name? I don't even know her first name.
the good thing about this film is it's not a straight origin film. Like there is origin elements in it, shown through flashbacks. That's not really a spoiler because you know.
Yeah, it's just the...
Thank God this was not a fucking origin movie.
Yeah.
I don't think I could have standard one of those.
Yeah, I mean, coming off of, you know, just like a bunch from the last, like, a few years, come on, like...
The thing is, everyone knows Superman and how he came to be.
He is.
It's just like Batman, everyone knows.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, I mean, like, I kind of agree with you. I mean, I do like Superman's origin story. I wouldn't mind seeing his origin story being retold because, you know, I didn't really like the one in original Superman because they didn't touch that really.
Yeah.
It was just like, up there, gone. So I was like, it could have been done better. But I thought that, this origin story was well done because it was well paced. The only downside to it is that it kind of breaks away from other bits of tension building from like the previous thing from old Clark.
Yeah.
So when you see old Clark and then it goes back into a flashback, it kind of ruins kind of the tension.
I know what you mean. It ruins like the pacing a bit. You know, it gets it's like fast and then it gets slow. But I think that was way better than Origin, just in my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't know for other people. You know, you could have liked that, but. But I think one of the film's biggest problems was that, you know, like there were a few action set pieces in the very start of the film.
Yeah.
I think the middle of the film was very quiet, but then the fucking like the later second act and third act, pure adrenaline injected action.
Well, we haven't seen a Kryptonian versus Kryptonian fight since Superman 2.
Since Superman 2, and that was, you know...
That was...
It's quite dated now.
So, yeah, I mean, for a Superman movie, this is probably one of the best.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely.
And I think that everyone gives it a lot of shit, you know, in the reviews of Man of Steel. It's... I think since like Christopher Nolan's writing it, I think it's because they expect it to be kind of like subtle like Batman.
Yeah.
It's like, no, it's not subtle. This is Superman. He's not supposed to be subtle.
I know he's not supposed to be subtle. He's a freaking god, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, he's pretty much considered.
But like another part of the film I really, really didn't like was the whole god aspect of it.
But I mean,
and I know that if you saw a man like this in real life, you'd be, you know, oh my god, Jesus, he's come back.
Yeah.
But like, they had spoilers. This is a very minor spoiler. There's a scene how Kal-El is in a church. He's talking to a priest, and the shot that's adjusted on Cal, you can see right in the foreground Jesus on the cross, and I was just like,
well, not only that,
man.
I mean, like there was bits, you know, where it was just pretty much asking, like, also spoiler. Sorry, I'm not doing this on purpose, but where he strikes a panel on the Kryptonian ship and it blows up into space, and then he floats up
like this,
that, and so, but it's like, come on, man. I've seen this before. Superman Returns had it. Spider-Man 2 had it.
Spider-Man 2 has it, yeah.
So I mean, it's sort of kind of like the superhero genre. It's like, if we had all these powers, what would we do in that place? We would be considered like a freak. We'd be considered an outcast, as Jesus was. So technically, Jesus was the first Superman.
Well, yeah, well, I guess you could say that. It's just that, like, religion has never really been tied to comics that much, unless it was like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Wonder Woman, but that's like Greek mythology.
Yeah, that's it.
So that's kind of different, but you know, that's a big gripe I had with the film. That's not really what like bugged it for me though. That's the thing. It was just that I thought that like the later half was just too like action fueled, and they didn't like let up, you know what I mean? And like nothing gets action or anything. It was just so much, and there's so much destruction. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean that's the point of like kind of this movie. I think Zack Snyder was like, okay, we haven't seen Superman's full potential in film, and I think we should do it in this movie, and I think that was a great idea.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think the second film in the franchise, it's just gonna be like way more subtle. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah.
I think it's really gonna be like way too
I definitely think it will.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I think it's gone more of a journey story. You know what I mean? He's gonna go on a journey. It's always that in like the second film. Well, I don't know about you, but I really can't see this probably going over like a 60%, because I had a lot of problems with it. I mean, when I was watching the cinema, I was having a damn good time, you know, as we all were. But you know, like when we were coming back, I was thinking about it more and more.
Yeah.
There's a lot of they really picked and you know parts of the story and really kind of messed it up. Kind of like my feelings towards the Amazing Spider-Man. You know, I liked it when I saw it, but then I was like, came back and was like, oh, that really wasn't that great.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, I kind of have the same kind of problem, except I was kind of judging it the second time I watched it, and I was watching it on the IMAX, IMAX 3D, and I was like watching it, and I was like picking through all the things that could have been done kind of more subtly. Number one was the jumping bit where he's doing this huge Hulk. Bounces, and then he goes through a mountain, and then he's like, and then he finds peace, and then he like has the determination to finally fly. I thought that could have been just a little bit more subtle rather than, you know, smashing into. I think that was like Zack Snyder just saying, "Look at this shit. Look at what we can do with Superman now." So that was the end.
Also with like Jonathan Kent, like I know it's probably part of like the Superman mythos, but like in this film he really didn't have to die. You know what I mean? He really and the way he dies, I'm not gonna spoil it, but so fucking stupid.
Yeah.
And there's a point where like, you know, he's dead, like, but he's gonna die, but Superman can save him.
Yeah.
But he doesn't.
Well,
but you know, like Superman,
as fast
as he's being bullied, you can just get him real quick, and like no one would have noticed.
Well,
and then he just, you know, Jonathan Kent gets transported to Oz, and he meets up with Jen Franco, but I don't know.
I don't know.
You know, there's a lot of things, but I think I'm going to give it about a 55%.
I don't think I'll judge it that harshly. I mean, I think it's a good movie. It has its flaws. It's a good superhero movie. It's not a very good movie overall. But I mean, in this age where superhero movies are coming out left, right, and center, it's good that I see something a little bit more emotional and poetic to its source. So I'm giving this 88%. So yeah, Man of Steel, and it also has been announced of the sequel for Man of Steel is going to be coming out with a special guest.
Yeah, some guy that runs around in a bat outfit. I don't know what that's about.
Yeah, I don't know either. So,
coming out 2015.
Yeah, that's right. So 2015. Comment, and subscribe.
Yep.
And can you tell us who this bat guy is? I mean, we have no idea.
And like your opinions on this teaming up, or potentially versus, who knows?
Yeah, maybe. So yeah, that was our Man of Steel review, but as I said, like, comment, subscribe, and it's always good to share us around.